laboratories all here. This whole thing was a trap.
They're not hunting us. We're in the middle of a war.
They're using us as bait.
You're ugly! Son of a...
Alright, here's a showdown that I think was destined to happen. I mean, I know that they came to be independently. The Alien franchise, starting obviously in the late 70s with Ridley Scott's movie. And then later, some studio executives said, we need Rambo versus E.T. Make your movie, right? And somebody spent some real time in designing this predator hunter creature. And, yeah, these were the two sort of big sci-fi horror stalwarts, especially of the 80s and 90s. And the day was going to come where these two would collide. As, of course, it was a production nightmare to get the rights worked out, but finally they did, and then they spent a lot of time getting the script. Actually has a similar long and storied history with another Versus movie that could well have been on this list, Freddy vs. Jason, which had almost a decade of pre-production leading up to that modern masterpiece. Here we have for a director is Paul W.S. Anderson. His big claim to fame being the Resident Evil franchise, which is, I guess I'm going to have to say, guilty pleasure because it's big budget zombies, but they're not good movies. They're not good movies. No. But I watched them. Okay, but they're not good movies.
We've all watched them. But they're not great.
Yeah. And, you know, he's got a good visual aesthetic. You can in any given one of his movies, there's going to be a sequence of special effects or of action or of fighting or of violence where you're going to say, good show. But I almost kind of feel like he's a better served as a video director or a second unit action sequence director than as sort of a main, which is unfortunate because he seems to have a movie out a year. He's a prolific guy. He would not have been my first choice, is what I'm getting around to saying. For Aliens versus Predator.
Right.
He's apparently a big fanboy, and he sold them on the concept that they'd had been looking at so many treatments, and he came in the room and with a few words talked them into this movie.
Wow.
Good on him. Yeah, I guess he got the gig, and if I could get this gig, I would have taken it too.
For sure.
Did you have... I'm going to sort of start with, like, the same way we started with Godzilla and Frankenstein. Do you have a dog in this fight? Is there somebody that you're cheering for? Is there an alien that you prefer in this show?
Well, of course, like, you know, it's like with King Kong and Godzilla. You always kind of side with the one that's more humanoid. Yeah. So, obviously, I side with the Predators.
Agreed.
Yeah. Instinctually. That being said, I do love both of them. Yes.
I think that as a movie franchise, as spotty as the Aliens franchise has been, it's kind of a stronger franchise overall than Predators.
Yes.
But I think as a creature design and as sort of a concept for a monster or an adversary, Predator is wicked cool.
Yeah, I like them.
I'm going to put my crazy sort of, you know, pseudosexual shrink hat on. Okay. Right. So let's get ready for this.
Okay.
The alien, hive creature, the queen alien is typically considered the biggest threat.
Yes. Sort
of a female, vicious creature. But it has this extendo, shooty, phallic penis thing that shoots out of its mouth.
Oh, is that what you see? Okay.
That's what I see because I'm a big tongue male.
Okay.
And then I look at the Predator, which is a very male, macho hunter creature.
He's got muscles.
And he's going to hide up in the trees and he's going to shoot you with his lasers and he's going to skin trophies.
Right.
And he's got this sort of folding, undulating vagina face.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So it's kind of interesting because we have a male figure with a vagina face and a female figure with a penis face fighting in this movie.
Yes.
Okay, I'll throw away the Dr. Freud hat. But it's a thought that occurred to me like a long time ago, and I just needed to unburden it, and I used this podcast as a platform.
I will never look at them the same way again.
Aliens versus Predator is penis mouth versus vagina mouth.
Okay. Woo! All right.
Just clearing the air.
I think you just ruined it for me
just
now.
read the whole movie. I'm a Predator guy. I like the Predator.
Yeah.
It's not personal with Predator. He's hunting you for a trophy, and he likes a fair fight. He won't shoot somebody who's sick or who is pregnant or who is unarmed. Mm-hmm. That's established in the sort of mythos. Whereas an alien just wants to kill you or else make you use you as a vessel to make other aliens.
Exactly.
So no, I'm not going to cheer for them.
Right.
But once again, going back to our first review with King Kong vs. Godzilla, I kind of got tired of seeing all my predators dying like punks in this movie.
I
It's,
know.
again, largely a one-way beating.
But they're junior predators.
Yeah, this is a cool... I guess we should mention the plot.
Yeah.
Such as it is.
Okay.
There's been discovered, frozen beneath the ice, a pyramid. And we find out that pyramids were actually built by predators. And they're not just tombs for ancient pharaohs. They're actually used as basically rites of passage, sort of test of manhood for predators. They send them into these pyramids, release aliens. And either the aliens escape the pyramid and take over the world, or the predators fight the aliens to the death and prove themselves worthy. Actually, on a premise level, as a way to tether the two series, it's kind of not horrible. I didn't think it's far-fetched, undoubtedly, and I think them trying to tie Lance Henriksen back into it with the Bishop character was a reach.
Yes.
Especially considering how much this was happening in modern times in 2002 or whatever it was. So to connect it to the Aliens movies was going to be a stretch in any route.
Right.
But they just had Lance Henriksen because they wanted a person to tether themselves to one of the franchises.
Exactly.
And that's all. Actually,
Whatever.
I like Lance Henriksen fine,
Yeah.
but he has not much to do in
No.
this movie.
No, not at all.
So yeah, a bunch of humans find the pyramid and they show up just perfectly timing to cue off the cycle with the aliens and this showdown. The few people who weren't infected by the aliens are caught in the middle.
Right.
That's basically the plot. And I understand in a movie with these two big characters, we're there to see the aliens and predators fight.
Right.
But neither of them really have a voice. So we have to lock in with some characters.
Exactly.
And we are allowed to know one.
Yes.
And I think it's a problem.
It definitely is a problem. And I'm actually gonna backtrack a little bit.
Go.
Into the setting that they chose for this, which is Earth.
Yeah.
And I understand that because they don't have voices, you kind of want that human aspect in there, right?
Yeah.
However, with previous movies, like I think it was Predators, right, where humans were actually criminals sent to the Predator planet.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a much better setting where we actually saw aliens and predators fighting over like planets instead. Very different setting, and for some reason, there could be humans there investigating a new planet as well.
That's the thing, because you like the idea of seeing the alien homeworld or the predator homeworld or whatever that would be, but what would that movie be? I mean, like maybe you could make some masterful
it would be
art
cool.
piece where we no humans fit into it and we just
Right.
sort of take it in, but shit, that would be an ambitious, impressive thing to try and pull off.
It's true.
And Paul W.S. Anderson does not have that in him.
But Predators in this movie too, they truly try to bring out the whole culture aspect of it.
Yeah.
And because of that, they could take some, I don't know, try and work it that way. I don't know.
I do feel like if there's a war going on between humans and aliens and predators, that there could be a way that you could talk to the predators.
Yeah.
There might be some form of table where you could sit at and maybe work out a treaty or borderlands or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no conversation to be had with the aliens.
It's true that.
All they have to say is...
It's true.
And that makes them scary.
Well,
that's
yeah.
But it also makes them sort of one note. Going to my Freddy vs. Jason analogy,
Right.
the aliens kind of fill in the Jason role. Jason doesn't speak, so Freddy has to do all the talking. The Predator is given much more personality. But much like the humans that we have involved in this system, we are allowed to get to know one.
Yes.
The others die like punks.
They really do. And, that's one thing that got me too. Like, in the plot, they're gathering all these scientists to go investigate this pyramid. And so you have these great minds, right?
Yeah.
They don't ever get to do what their special is. They don't actually even talk about what their specialty is.
Half of that tomb was there to drill a hole in the ice,
Yeah.
and when they got there, there was a hole drilled for them.
Exactly. Like,
That was the plot point in the movie.
They didn't even need to go there.
No.
At all.
Well, they didn't know they didn't need to go there till they got there, to be fair. But still, once they were there, we might as well, I guess my crew can go.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Do we still get paid for this gig?
Well, and the chemical engineer that was in this movie, he needed a soil sample to date the pyramid.
Yeah.
He didn't need to go down there and die.
Oh, someone could get that for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ewan Bremner is a Scottish actor. He played Spud, famously in
Well, that
Trainspotting.
was the chemical engineer.
That's the chemical engineer character. Basically, all they do is make sure they remind us that he has kids at home and people who love him,
yeah.
so that we will care more when he
But
dies.
it didn't help at all.
But it sucks because I like that actor, and I think
I
that
do
there
like
was
him too.
almost something good happening there, but we didn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And we have to confess, for a group of super smart scientists, they really don't make smart decisions.
No, they don't.
So, I understand the need to inject a human element, but
Yeah.
that human element needs to be interesting and not just
Yeah.
lambs for the slaughter.
Exactly.
I understand the movie is about aliens versus Predator, but
Yeah.
give us a little bit more.
Yeah.
But to get nicer talking about it, because I feel like I've been a
Sorry.
little bit mean,
Okay, sorry.
I do think superficially,
Yeah.
in a sort of C+, not an A+ manner, it delivers on the promise of the title.
Mm-hmm.
There is a protracted scene of a big fight between a predator and an alien, and it's pretty badass. And once the fight reaches the surface and the stakes get higher, I mean, you know, it delivers the promise.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I don't know if it's just the properties are just so big in geeks' heads that it just couldn't be me and Matt. I can't help but feel this movie is a disappointment. It's not as much as a disappointment as its sequel, Requiem, which was a full-on debacle, I think. But it just... when I was a kid, I read comic books, Alien Earthworlds and Alien vs. Predator, all these Dark Horse comic books that you couldn't even do, and a lot of them involved characters that were subsequently killed off in movies, but that were way more interesting and way more diverse and way richer in character than this.
Yes.
And I guess I'm just saying I'm disappointed that it took this much time and this much effort and this much care, because it looks good, and the pyramid set and the predators and the
awesome.
aliens,
Yeah.
brilliantly rendered.
Yeah, I agree.
It's good, but it could have been fantastic. And that's the sort of thing where it gets frustrating, where you see, like, this is an okay movie, but it's so close to being a really good one.
Well, even the fight scenes alone, where I think they could have been a lot more creative. It seemed like a lot of even the human deaths were, off screen.
Yeah.
You didn't see. I wanted more gore. I
Yeah.
wanted more gore and unique deaths, and I just didn't get that.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed.
It's even with the chest bursting scene, like
was
we
like,
know that the aliens
yeah.
are going to burst out of their chest, and
Here we go.
and the movie knows that we know, so that we're not even privy to it.
No.
And there is something weird about the life cycle of the alien. In the first movie, it seems to at least take a few days
It's
for
true.
the alien to go from baby alien to full size. It's quick, but it's not. This really seems like it pops out of their chests, and then within a few minutes is fully grown.
Yes.
But again, these are sort of nerdy. What part of the Enterprise would the warp drive be
Right.
located in?
It's
And
true.
if I want to get into that minutia, I do want to say I go into this movie wanting to like it, and I give it like a moderate pass. But again, it's hurt by what it could have been more than by what it is in some ways.
I totally agree with you there. Yeah, I was a little disappointed.
Anything else you want to say about Aliens vs. Predator?
I do have one more thing that
Bring
I
it.
want to say. This is just me
No.
trying
There's
to
nothing
think
wrong.
that they could have made this better. And even if they did choose Earth as their setting,
Yeah.
they even have that flashback to a much better fight in the movie,
Yeah.
where they have the predators at the top of the pyramid and all these aliens swarming towards them. And I was like, I want to see that movie.
Why not the Predators trying to stop an alien invasion in ancient Egypt?
I know. That
Bring
was
it.
the movie I wanted to see.
Bring it. Apocalypto meets Aliens versus Predator. Let's see it.